The commercial real estate industry has been hit pretty hard over the last 2 years, and with that, the revenues of many major brokerage, investment, and lending firms have also fallen a lot. And with less money to go around, hiring at these companies has also slowed down, with firms becoming extremely selective if they do bring someone on board. And if you are trying to break into the real estate industry today, you have to stand out when submitting your applications. And in this video, I want to walk through 5 of the biggest things you can do specifically on your resume to get your foot in the door for interviews and ultimately land offers. So regardless of the industry that you're coming from or how much commercial real estate experience you have, the biggest thing you can do to set yourself apart from other candidates in a job application is to add measurable results to your resume whenever possible. Including general responsibilities you've held on your resume is helpful, but employers also want to see that you produced in the roles that you had rather than just going through the motions and getting your work done. In a real estate context, this often means adding things like the total transaction volume you've worked on, the number of units, or the total square footage you've managed or acquired, the portfolio size of a company that you've worked for, or even real estate related software that you've used that would help you succeed as a real estate analyst. For example, if you had an internship in acquisitions that you wanted to highlight, instead of just writing underwrote properties for potential acquisition using company's financial model, you want to use language that quantifies that work more, like underwrote over $500 million of potential multifamily and retail acquisition opportunities throughout the Phoenix, Denver, and Las Vegas markets, resulting in over $70 million of closed transaction volume. Even if your work experience isn't directly related to real estate, if there's an impressive financial figure that you can add, a number of team members that you trained or managed, or an increase in business that you generated when working in a sales-related role, adding details related to these things will go a very long way towards helping you land an interview. Now, the next thing to do to make your resume stand out when applying for commercial real estate roles is to replace a list of soft skills that you might have on your resume with bullet points that demonstrate these directly within your work experience. Listing attributes like hardworking, team player, collaborative, or innovative doesn't do anything to show a hiring manager what you've actually done, and also doesn't prove that you've utilized these traits. For example, instead of just saying that you have negotiation skills, talk through the times where you've used those negotiation skills successfully and then quantify the outcomes that those skills have produced. And instead of saying that you're a hard worker, talk through how you were able to ramp up quickly in a new job or exceed sales targets consistently year over year. I promise you that no hiring manager reads a list of traits on a resume and automatically believes everything in front of them, and this not only wastes space, but this can also lead a hiring manager to believe that you don't actually have the experience to back up what you're saying. Now from here, the next thing I'd recommend is to use a standard conventional resume format rather than something creative. If you go to a site like canva.com and search through available resume templates, you'll see a lot of these to choose from that look pretty good. However, a lot of these are really difficult to follow and can often distract from the content of the resume itself, which can make your resume difficult to read for a hiring manager and ultimately reduce the chances of you making it to the next round. A lot of resumes are also filtered through automated resume screening software, which can sometimes get tripped up with unconventional formats, so this can even have the unintended drawback of taking you out of the running for roles that you may have otherwise been qualified for. Just make sure you're using a clean and clear format without images or a bunch of bright colors, and focus on the content of your resume first rather than the design. Now, the next recommendation I have goes back to the content of a resume, and this is to use punctuation and capitalization consistently throughout your resume, and make sure to double check this before submitting applications. Because commercial real estate analyst roles require so much attention to detail, forgetting a period or capitalizing a word that doesn't need to be capitalized can be a really big deal on your resume when applying for these jobs. If you scroll through an offering memorandum or even a basic brochure put together by firms like CBRE or JLL, you'll notice that these have a very specific format that's consistent across the board, and there are no grammatical errors. And since these materials are ultimately put together by the analysts on these teams, you need to be able to show that you also put a significant amount of attention to detail into your own work product, and your resume is the first place where you can make that happen. Just make sure that the capitalization and the punctuation that you use is consistent throughout your resume, and if possible, get a friend that you trust to proofread this first before submitting applications. Now, finally, the last thing I'd recommend to increase your chances of landing an interview is to remove your GPA from your resume if this is less than a 3.7 or if you've been out of school for more than 2 years. Companies will ask for a transcript if they want to see your performance in school, but if your GPA doesn't stand out, or if you have work experience that would overshadow a relatively weak GPA, this doesn't need to be added directly within your resume. A lot of people take demanding course loads, double major, or work throughout school, which can make a GPA a pretty poor barometer for how competent someone is, and if your GPA is on the lower end of the spectrum, there's no need to volunteer this information, and keeping the focus on your work experience, the degree that you earned, and the organizations that you were a part of during school is going to be much more beneficial within your applications. Even if your GPA was impressive, I would also recommend removing this once you have about 2 years of full-time work experience under your belt to keep the focus again on what you've done professionally and the things you've accomplished on the job rather than your grades. So if you're just starting the application process for commercial real estate roles, these are 5 things to focus on when building out your resume. And if you want access to sample resume and cover letter templates and courses on how to build the technical skills you'll need to land an analyst or associate role at a top commercial real estate firm, as always, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Breaking a CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Breaking a CRE Analyst Certification exam, which covers topics like real estate pro forma and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. And if you like this video and you want to see more content on the channel on real estate resumes or cover letters, make sure to hit the like button and let me know in the comments what other career-related subjects you'd like to see covered in a future video on the channel. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.